Hey, this is Jason Kleberg from the Force 5 podcast, a show that forces a guest to come up with a movie-themed top 5 list topic, and then we reveal our picks on air. Top 5 heist films, top 5 tearjerkers, top 5 movie dogs. Every show you'll be asking yourself, what would be on my list? Guests include directors, screenwriters, actors, podcasters, musicians, authors, and even a professional wrestler. Subscribe to the Force 5 podcast, and you won't just be a listener, you'll be a list nerd. The Force 5 podcast, available wherever you're listening now.
The audio commentary. It's a dying art form, but here at One Track Mind, I, your wonky yet affable host Ryan Luis Rodriguez, analyze film through the prism of these embryonic forms of podcasting, one audio commentary at a time. Masterpieces, crapster pieces, live action, animation, cult classics, films literally no one has ever heard of. No track is too small and no track is too big. Join me and my guests from the entertainment world as we keep these features alive every other Tuesday. Hey, who else is going to discuss Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey one week and Citizen Kane the next? Us, that's who. Sure, you have to put up with my voice, but there's a certain give and take in this industry. That's One Track Mind, part of the Someone's Favorite Productions family, and available wherever you get your podcasts.
I'm Chris Stachiw, and I am joined by two of my very good friends, Mike White at the projection booth.
Hello.
And Jess Byard of the Scary Stories We Tell podcast.
Hello.
And yeah, we're talking Coffy. We're continuing Blaxploitation Month with a look at 1973's Pam Grier vehicle, Coffy.
My name's Coffy. I know where you want to, and you're gonna get it. This is the end of your rotten life, you dope pusher. Are you sure you're not just a little black?
Let me see you crawl over here, you black trash.
You want me to crawl?
What are you doing? Put that down.
You want to spit on me and make me crawl?
Just tell me. Did this man send you to kill me?
No, he didn't know nothing.
Take her out and kill her.
I think of all the fun I could have had with a good-looking stud like you.
You really mean that?
All your friends are dead. Well, I killed them all.
So it's directed by and written by Jack Hill. It stars Pam Grier, Booker Bradshaw, Robert Doquey. By the way, one of the best names ever. Robert Doquey. There's a lot of other people too. Sid Haig is in here, which I want to point something out before we start talking about this movie. I kept thinking to myself, that guy looks like Sid Haig, but I'm pretty sure it's not Sid Haig, except it is Sid Haig.
Because he's not old enough to be Sid.
That's what I was thinking. I was like,
he's not dressed in clown makeup. I don't know what he looks like outside.
I was like, that guy looks like Sid Haig, but I didn't think Sid Haig was like that tall of a guy.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Sid Haig is a big dude.
Exactly. And so, because I always just think of him as the character from House of a Thousand Corpses. And
I mean, he's tall in that, too. Like, he's taller than everybody. I guess, I mean, he's still wearing the clown suit, though, and everything.
I think it's the clown thing. Like, the clown outfit is what threw me.
And he's older.
Yeah. But Sid Haig is here. Alan Arbus is here. Mike, why Coffy? Because you programmed this month. Why Coffy?
Why not? I mean, have you ever seen a movie like this? I mean, yeah, we've seen movies like this. It's a revenge film.
Isn't it just Truck Turner, but with Pam Grier, which is not a bad thing in the slightest.
Yeah, it's a little, it would lend a plot to the Avenging Disco Godfather. This whole idea of revenge for a strung out relative kind of thing.
Right. Well, I mean, that's a pretty common theme through most blaxploitation. Revenge against the system in general. But yeah, especially revenge against dope dealers on the street and people who enable dope dealers to be on the street.
And it goes all the way to the top.
All the way to the top.
And the thing I like about this is it does have like an anti-drug message, which is weird for blaxploitation films.
Yeah, you know what though? I would kind of disagree with that because there's always sort of, yes, agreed. There are overwhelmingly a large amount of blaxploitation films feature pimps and drug dealers as pushers, as their, Superfly, Dolomite, all of that. But there are still always characters in the background or in subplots that are like the bystanders or the casualties of the casual drug use and the casual violence. So I think that message is kind of comes across in a lot of them. Even kind of in Sugar Hill, which is a zombie one, but still.
Yeah, I think it's probably half and half, because I think, like, Cleopatra Jones was fighting against the, because Mommy had all the poppy fields and stuff, so, yeah, you're looking at,
and modern day Black Dynamite, is heavily anti-drug.
Exactly, yeah, especially that malt liquor, which, we don't want to go there. But yeah, have you seen a Jack Hill film before, Chris? I'm curious. Okay. He's got his own thing going on, and I love him for that. He was working in the Corman School for a while, but even before that, like making things like Spider Baby. And I can't remember. I don't think Pit Stop was an AIP film. It might be though. But then he would get into making things like The Big Birdcage, The Big Dollhouse, Foxy Brown and Coffy, The Swinging Cheerleaders, Switchblade Sisters. I mean,
I love Switchblade
Sisters is just so bizarre. In a great way, but it's just so
all
bizarre.
Of Jack Hill's movies, like you said, he kind of, it's the same Roger Corman school, and he teeters this line almost in certain aspects, or at least in certain scenes, that do bridge kind of into almost horror with the kind of, gore effects and deaths that they're going for. I mean, in this movie alone, there's 4 or 5 fantastic dummy deaths.
Oh, yeah.
And they're pretty brutal. I mean, we get, pretty much a headshot, like, within the first 15 minutes of this movie. And it's fantastic, but it is just over the top exaggerated, and I do love that about Jack Hill movies.
The death of King George, not to jump too far ahead, but that is really horrific, especially like in a post James Byrd type world. It was just like, oh my god. I think I saw Coffy around the same time that had actually happened in Texas, and it was just like, what the fuck? So it's rough, man. But yeah, he had his actors that he would go to, a lot of Pam Grier and Sid Haig in a lot of his movies, and yeah, he just had like his own stamp to stuff, and I cannot recommend his work enough because he just really knew what he was doing. I can't say, like, for me it's one of those, like, did you see Snatch or Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels first, which kind of determines which one you're going to like better, if you like either one at all. If you see Foxy Brown first, you might like that one better. I saw Coffy first, and I love this movie.
Mm-hmm. I don't know which one I've seen, which one I saw first, honestly. I think I watched them probably around the same time, so it was close enough for me to just... Because I love both of them. I mean, I think that... Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that I like one over the other. I think that they're both fantastic Pam Grier vehicles. They're amazing movies, especially in the genre of, a lot of these movies are fantastic, and a lot of these movies really just get to go... I like these, hit, subgenres that kind of got to exist in this world where they got to be in movie theaters, even if they had these most, ridiculous plots and sequences played out in them. And I like seeing in Blaxploitation, casts are obviously incredibly diverse. So especially for that time, that's what they're going for. And it's fantastic to see all of that talent and all of that energy in these movies.
Yeah, the one thing missing for me in this movie, who was in The Big Dollhouse and The Big Birdcage, is Vic Diaz. I loved those Philippine movies when Vic Diaz would show up and stuff, and I kind of wish he had been able to make that transition to the U.S. a little bit better and be in these movies as well. Though getting Alan Arbus in here and Robert Doquey, two incredible character actors, and seeing...
You won't see the engineer that slams the Nissan Rogue's door 13,920 times. Or the corrosive chamber that simulates 15 years of life in 5 months. Or the Rogue heat-baked for over 300 combined hours. What you will see is a vehicle that can take punch after punch and keep rolling. Nissan, #1 in new vehicle quality among mainstream brands by J.D. Power. We put it through the worst, so you get its best. For J.D. Power 2025 U.S. Initial Quality Study Award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Awards based on 2025 model year. Newer models may be shown.
Hello, this is Aaron West. I am the author of the A24 New Wave. In this book, I look at A24's output, and I make the argument that we are in a new wave movement right now. A24 plays a major role. This book has a supplemental podcast where each episode is a brief conversation about an A24-related topic, whether an actor, director, or even a genre. As I continue research for the book and conduct interviews, I expect to record podcast episodes with people involved with the company. You can find the podcast at cinejourneys.com or wherever you find podcasts, and we are proud to be members of the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.
Arbus in a role like this, when I'd grown up with him in MASH being a psychiatrist, and then here he shows up as this slimy guy who loves to spit on women and degrade them. Okay, sure. And Robert Doquey, I love Robert Doquey. I love him, especially in things like RoboCop and, just some of the smaller roles that he's done. He just doesn't look comfortable in this movie, and it's almost all the better for it because he's not like this shucking and jiving pimp when he comes in, even though he's got the best theme music in the entire world.
100%. Yeah, when he walked through that door, I was sold.
And those jumpsuits that he gets to wear, too.
Amazing.
And when he takes off the jumpsuit, I'm just like, man, that body. Like, you look at like a fucking Ryan Reynolds or some of these guys that are just cut on a marble, and here's Robert Doquey just like, I'm going to let it all hang out. Fuck it, man. I don't care.
I mean, it's in the same vein as Dolomite.
Oh, yeah.
It's just, this is who I am, what I look like. But fuck it.
This is early 70s realness, baby.
Yeah.
The headshot at the beginning is fantastic. I love the way that he uses those little flashes of things to show what she's thinking. And that's the other thing that I like so much about Jack Hill is that he dealt so often with strong female characters, and that it wasn't, we throw around the word blaxploitation a lot, but it never feels like exploitation. And definitely, even though Pam Grier is getting naked or topless quite a bit, it doesn't feel like she's being exploited. It feels like she's the one in charge in this.
Right, and because, the character of Coffy is out for revenge of her sister who OD'd from heroin on the street, and she does use, being Pam Grier and how beautiful she is, she uses that to her advantage to lure these people in. But yeah, like you said, it's all her choice and it's her plan, and nothing ever goes any farther than she really wants it to. You know, aside from later on in the movie when she gets betrayed. But
I'll tell you what, though, I did really like this movie a lot, and I think most of it goes back to Pam Grier, in my opinion. I think she's the reason I like this film so much, is because she has such a charismatic personality and has such a really strong screen presence.
You know, I was thinking when I was watching this, because it had been a long time since, and I realized that maybe, I don't know, like I guess I didn't remember everything, so I'm not sure if I had just not seen the entire movie or it's just been a really long time. But for some reason, and this might just be because of pop culture and how, you know, influential this character and characters that Pam Grier played became in pop culture itself, I kind of always remembered this character being much more, I don't know, of a more huge energy kind of caricature, but she's very real in this movie, and I mean that in a fantastic way. I mean, like, this, she's not, you know, she has a range of emotion throughout this. She's quiet, she's loud, she's aggressive, she's meek. Like, she runs the gamut, and she feels like a very real person in this movie to me. And for some reason, I just remembered it more as a character, and I was pleasantly surprised to come back to this and find her, because this is very young Pam Grier. Like, this is, I mean, shoot, she was probably, 20s when this came out? So. Like, early in her career, you know, and one of the movies that made her what she is and would become. But it's nice to go back and see that, like, more towards the beginning, middle of her career, where she's still this very real, just fully layered character.
And if she gave a bad performance, it would just ring so false. But she manages to really bring it to this movie. And there were times where I was just like, oh, okay, that line reading was a little rough, but right. I bought her the whole time.
Right, yeah.
I bought her except for when she was trying to do a Jamaican accent.
Okay, well, there's that.
Oh, dearie. That Jamaican accent is... I mean, it is just generic as generic can get, right?
Well, to be fair, in 1973, people didn't even know what Jamaica was. Just kidding.
No idea what it was.
Jamaica.
What is this Jamaica? It's that meme of the Japanese guy with the butterfly. Is this Jamaica?
Irie, let me tell you something.
Yeah, where's that? I mean, get in there rather than just trying to do like the man on at the end of every sentence.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Like, what? It's like doing a Canadian accent and just saying sorry after everything. Like, that's not...
Or a boot.
Yeah, like, that's not how that works. I mean, it's a small complaint, but it's like a good portion of the movie where she's doing it, and it is just not good.
Yeah, it is a bit distracting, and that did throw me off for a bit. But again, yeah, it's that what I love so much about these movies in this time period, especially, is that everything is so shoestring budget, but there's so much effort behind everything. Even when stuff kind of looks cheap, or when line readings are a little rough because they probably they only have X amount of time, so they don't have enough time to do more takes, it still feels, more genuine than most polished movies that, are just dumped on streaming sites now.
Yeah, it feels like there's a real heart behind all of it, and that it wasn't just a real cash grab. Like I said, it may be an exploitation film, but it feels like they actually put an effort into all of this. I mean, that it's got a fairly intricate plot, and that there are times where I was rewatching it and I was just like, oh yeah, I forgot that. Like when the big guy who was wearing a cowboy hat recognizes Coffy, I was just like, wait a second, how would he recognize her? And then I'm like, oh yeah, the guys that came in and beat the shit out of her friend, we never saw their face. That was probably Omar and this guy. So, okay, that makes sense now. But yeah, I like that they have this, and that it's this coming together of the greasy mob guy, the kingmaker police commissioner guy, the man who's running for office, and just all of these guys coming together and realizing that everyone is corrupt.
The Arturo Vitroni character, who is a deplorable sack of shit.
Right.
Crawl on the ground for me. Oh no. No.
And then when he drops the N-bomb, I was like, oh, wow, we're going there.
Times.
Yeah, that's really the only time that you really start to feel like the uncomfortableness that is the exploitation subgenres, where they're allowed, we're pushing more boundaries with this movie. I mean, this movie's pretty, it's Jack Hill. His movies are pretty dirty. That's what they were. They were fun, violent, dirty, good times, and this movie is very explicit throughout. And yeah, that character in particular is just is probably one of the slimiest characters committed to screen. I can just feel the satin shirt.
Well, and the thing about this movie, you're talking about with the exploitation, Pam Grier is topless within the first 5 minutes of this movie.
Oh yeah. God, yeah.
Yeah. And the thing is if you think about a film now, think about a revenge film filmed in the 21st century, the female character would probably be only naked once, and that's probably when whatever transgression happening against her is taking place. In this film, she is willingly nude several times, and that is something that modern audiences probably would not even, not understand, but it would be so foreign.
Right. Well, I mean, there's I Spit on Your Grave, which is probably one of the most well-known rape revenge movies there are. And Camille Keaton, yeah, she is nude multiple times in it, but, primarily the first several times are because of, like you said, the transgressions happening against her. And then later on in, sort of the same idea of seducing these deplorable men and getting them in vulnerable states so that she can then, enact her revenge on them. And that is obviously sort of the Black Widow trope of, the femme fatales, use your seductions and lure the men in to get their guard down so that they're easier to kill. But again, like we said earlier,
you won't see the engineer that slams the Nissan Rogue's door 13,920 times. Or the corrosive chamber that simulates 15 years of life in 5 months. Or the Rogue heat-baked for over 300 combined hours. What you will see is a vehicle that can take punch after punch and keep rolling. Nissan, #1 in new vehicle quality among mainstream brands by J.D. Power. We put it through the worst, so you get its best. For J.D. Power 2025 U.S. Initial Quality Study Award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Awards based on 2025 model year. Newer models may be shown.
Have you ever wanted to dive deeper into the horror movies you love? Beyond the Blood is a horror podcast for fans who want more than just surface-level screams. We do deep dives into the movies that shaped us, digging into director commentaries, behind-the-scenes stories, deleted scenes, and the special features that most people skip. Each episode is a love letter to the genre. We break down how these films were made, the creative risks that paid off or didn't, and the lasting impact they've had on the genre as a whole. From 70s slashers to modern nightmares, we celebrate the craft, chaos, and characters that keep us coming back. If you're the kind of fan who rewatches movies with the commentary on, or you simply grew up in the video store horror aisle, the Beyond the Blood podcast was made for you. New episodes every single week. Subscribe, and let's dig deep. Welcome to the Beyond the Blood podcast.
Unlike I Spit on Your Grave, which does feel very exploitative, and you do feel like, Camille Keaton's character is not in charge for the first 45 minutes of that movie. Pam Grier's character as Coffy is in charge the entire movie. There's no point in time until one moment where she is betrayed by the person that she thinks is her boyfriend and on her side. That's really the only time where she's kind of caught off guard. Everything else is something that she's planned, that she is executing, that she is voluntarily doing. And I think, part of that kind of stems from, we haven't really mentioned, but she has a job. She, by day, is a nurse, like a surgeon's assistant, evidently.
Which in and of itself is not something that you would see in films like this.
No, yeah, you're usually seeing, a lot of the female characters in rape revenge movies, especially of the 70s, tend to hold more like, artistic jobs, or they're models or something like that, where it's something a bit more soft and introspective and not so, out there and aggressive. But no, with Pam Grier, that's a committed job. You have to go to a lot of school for that. You have to be a very, precise and accurate person. So that does speak a lot to the character of Coffy, as to who she is in her real life, especially when she's juxtaposed against her sister, who we, don't really meet, but unfortunately ODs, and now she kind of has to jump into this world to enact this revenge, and boy, does she.
Oh, yeah.
Like, seriously, the credits roll, and it just says Pam Grier Coffy, and then it's just a list of people she killed. That's it.
When I mentioned the King George the song, I mean, the whole soundtrack is fantastic, and the opening title theme, I mean, this is one of the best opening title themes that you're going to get. And this is coming off of us talking about Truck Turner last week. I mean, this is another killer theme, and that's what we're going to get, Chris, for the next 2 weeks, is more incredible theme songs to these movies.
They have such good... I mean...
Black Belt Jones? Fucking A.
yeah. Black Belt Jones. I mean, obviously Superfly, which is arguably probably a better soundtrack than it is a movie, but...
I will say that I listen to the soundtrack more than I watch the movie.
Exactly. What about Car Wash?
Oh, man. That's tough. That's a tough call. Same thing with this, because this has got some amazing songs and just such an amazing movie.
Mm-hmm.
And how many movies do you get to watch where a woman puts razor blades in her afro?
Oh,
that's fantastic. When I realized what was going on when he grabbed her hair, oh my God, that's the best move.
I know, because you're like, what the hell is she doing?
Putting razor blades in her hair so the white woman grabs her. Oh boy. Speaking of white women, the end of the film where her boyfriend, played by Booker Bradshaw, is pleading his case to her as to why he should be forgiven, and he's trying to do is for her and for the black community at large, and then all of a sudden you can literally hear Cleavon Little in the background go, "Where are the white women at?" And a white woman just pops up at the top of the stairs, and yep.
It's such a slap in her face.
Tough shit, pal, because you just got your dick blown off.
Yep. I mean...
It's pretty great. It's a pretty
he deserves
good,
everything he gets.
It's a little good, it's just like that little, pin push in just a little bit farther at the end of the movie. Because, maybe she'll take him back. I don't know. He's pleading his case.
I would not.
And you're just screaming. I was screaming at the screen. I'm like, don't do it. Don't do it.
Like, when you find out that he's working, with the drug dealers and everybody, because he's supposed to be this councilman that's actively trying to, better the streets of drug and crime, but behind backs he's working with the drug and crime. And when they flipped that table with that, I was legitimately kind of, I don't know why I didn't expect that, because I guess I was already just so engrossed in what she was already avenging that I wasn't expecting another thing to have to, avenge.
Well, I mean, to be fair, it's not like they make it clear in the movie that he's a philanderer until he just goes she's just some woman I fucked. But
right, because he's presented as a very, he's a councilman. He's educated. He has, he dresses nicely. He is presented as this well-to-do citizen and not a philanderer. And then turns out he's both. He's neither. So, yeah.
You hope for the best, when he's like, oh yeah, take her out or whatever. You're expecting take
her out back and kill her.
Yeah, he's got a plan. He's going to rescue her somehow. He's got to be this knight in shining armor, right? Like, there's no way. He's got to be playing these guys or something. But no, it's just like every step you just find out that he's worse and worse and worse. I think the only thing that I have a complaint about in this movie is that he's not as much of a presence. That we see him at the beginning, she calls him, and you get that shot through the fish tank so you know where you're at and you know who she's calling. It's a very cool shot. And then you get him shooting the commercial, but like him and her together, you get a lot of those scenes of her and Carter together, but you don't get another scene of her and Booker together. And it's like, okay, maybe one more of those would have cemented him in the movie, because you're like, oh wait, oh yeah, he's in this, isn't he?
I agree. I agree with that. I felt kind of, because when he does kind of come back in that moment of revealing what's actually going on, I did kind of go, wait, who are you? Oh, wait, yeah, you're her boyfriend. Okay. And yeah, one more scene that kind of established what he was doing, also what he was trying to do in the community, to kind of hammer it home that he was, you know, how much of a piece of shit he was, because he was, you know, trying to be this nice person on the, you know, the outside, and this, you know, well-to-do citizen and pillar of his community, but on the other hand, he's not. So yeah, I would have liked to see a bit more with him to establish him in the movie a bit more solidly.
I mean, I think it just goes back to hidden villain syndrome, right? I mean, he's the hidden villain of the movie, so they don't want to reveal too much.
Right, he is, but he's not like a villain that's... He doesn't ever specifically pose like a physical threat.
No,
really.
He's not an active participant in a way that, like, you know, Alan Arbus's character is, or
Omar,
or Sid Haig's character is.
Yeah, who's dragging King George behind his car for miles, which is a horrific, you know, death, and the idea of it is horrific, but the execution and watching that dummy fly over the street is fucking hilarious.
Well, and then at the end they have the blood all over his character that is just like the blood in Truck Turner, where it's like what was Father Malone talking? What was it? The 3M blood?
Right. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I kind of wish that Studs had been able to get his revenge, because I really liked that character, and I liked that he was just so against Omar. But when they let him live, I was like, okay. But I kind of wish Studs had like come back at the end and gotten some revenge himself.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
And I liked this movie. I thought this movie was great. Mm-hmm. I mean,
And you know what else I like about this movie? Cool 86 minutes.
Yes, in and out.
Yep, you're there, you're done, you get what you came, like, you immediately, you sit down, you are in the action, you know what's going on, you're surrounded by beautiful people.
But
and
you're
then,
right, though.
86 minutes later, you're done.
You're right, Chris. This is very, very similar to Truck Turner. As I was watching it, I was just like, oh yeah, I guess Carter is just like Truck Turner's buddy, in that he has to die or get hospitalized, or more, I guess, like the guy that runs the Bales Bond place.
Yeah.
Sam Law's character, and I'm just like, oh, okay, yeah. But there was no shootout in the hospital, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, that would have been great. Because that's like one of the best parts of Truck Turner. So
yeah,
I like this. I don't know if I like this as much as Truck Turner. I think there's just inherently something about Isaac Hayes in that performance that I really gravitate towards. But I mean, this movie's great. I mean, I'll tell you what, it's not as good as Jackie Brown. I mean, but what is? You know, come on.
Oh,
I mean, yeah.
You had to go.
This is the only time I think this is the only time this month we're talking about a Pam Grier movie, so I feel like we should mention that at least.
Well,
just in passing.
We could say that, I mean, really, and I don't think anybody would disagree with me, that Coffy is basically the Bonnie character in Pulp Fiction, because she is a black nurse who likes her coffee quite a bit. And Coffy is all about having some coffee in this movie, especially late at night. And, you know, Carter makes some of the best coffee. And
so he said.
Kind of that gourmet shit, you know?
Yeah, it's, you know, I've never seen Jackie Brown, and that's because I have a aversion to Tarantino, just in general. But probably don't need to watch it if I've seen all the other Pam Grier movies that he ripped off.
Some people really like it. I mean, the book was okay. I'm not a fan. I mean, it's maybe when I get to be like 60, 70 years old, I'll like it, but...
Hey, talk about good soundtracks.
That is a good soundtrack, especially when he uses other people's music.
Oh, wait. Are you talking about that movie or all of the movies?
Yeah, or how about a large majority of movies that people make?
Every single movie that Tarantino has ever made is ripping off everybody else's really good music. Constantly.
I'm talking about when she's at the airport, which is ripping off the visuals from the opening of The Graduate. And
yes, that's true.
Is going along to the opening theme song to Across 110th Street. So taking two beginnings of two movies and smash them together.
No, but he just appreciates those movies. He's not ripping them off.
Oh,
he just is appreciative, and then he'll claim that he's. You know that the intro of Jackie Brown is just like The Graduate. What's that? I've never heard of that movie. What? I've never heard of that one. Could you send me a link and I'll watch it? Get the fuck out of here. Come on. Listen here, you. We know what you're up to. Some of us can't have the wool pulled over our eyes. But yeah, Tarantino loves this movie, obviously. He ranks it in his top 20 best films ever. I didn't see that many shots of feet, but it's a good movie. I can see why he likes it. And he is a huge defender of blaxploitation film, which I can't blame him for that. I like blaxploitation films too. I just wouldn't rip them off if I made my own. I mean, he's not known for Jackie Brown. He's known for Pulp Fiction and Reservoir Dogs.
But some would say that Jackie Brown is his most successful film.
Some would say that Jackie Brown is his best film.
Right.
Is Jackie Brown his most successful film?
I mean, successful
financially?
In terms
I don't know.
of,
I don't think so.
Probably not financially, but as far as critical acceptance and just maturity, let's say.
I mean, I would go from Dusk Till Dawn as his most successful film. I mean, a penis pistol? Come on.
Well, that was probably Robert Rodriguez's idea, let's be honest.
You throw Robert Rodriguez under the bus for that one, I don't blame you.
Hey, I like sex machines.
Yeah, me too.
So what would you give Coffy out of 5, Jess?
Me, I probably get it up at the... I give it a 4 out of 5. It has a lot of rewatchability. It's a super, impactful movie as far as what came after it. And Pam Grier is super foxy. So, yeah.
What about you, Mike?
I'd give it a 4 out of 5. I mean, it's not a perfect film, but it's pretty darn close.
Yeah, I would give it a 4 as well. I mean, if Truck Turner is the bar by which I'm measuring everything else, because I gave it a 5, this is a 4.
Solid 4s all around.
4. But I'll tell you what, the tagline for the film is great. They call her
fuck
Coffy,
yes it is.
And she'll cream you. Boy, won't. Well, let's take a break and we'll play a preview for the next Kulturecast.
Enter Jim Dragon Kelly. He clubbers them up as Black Belt Joe.
I lost 3 of my best men in there. Now I'm asking you as a favor.
You're asking me to be the 4th. Get a couple tanks and blast it down. Forget it, man. I ain't going in there. It's a fortress.
Well, fortress or no, it's top priority.
So am I. It's suicide.
And dust to dust.
Now, who killed my father? Who's Pinky?
What you wanted for, little mama?
I ain't your mama.
She brought P. What's wrong, man?
Oh, Black Belt, she is good, man. She is bad.
Boy, what are you talking about?
Sydney, she went into the hip pocket.
What?
She's a fighter like us, man. And she is bad. Ooh, she's bad.
Now, what are you doing? No, you stay here till I get back. Do those dishes or something.
They're done.
Black Belt Jones leads his private commandos into the nerve center of a gangland stronghold to crack a super crime conspiracy. Enter Jim, Dragon, Kelly.
You don't need these. What the hell is that? Panties? That son of a bitch threw his panties in my face?
This is the movie that breaks through to a new dimension in film excitement as Kelly takes on the underworld.
That's right. On the next Kulturecast, we are going to be talking about another blaxploitation film, Black Belt Jones. Another film I have not seen, but I am looking forward to watching it. And on that episode, I'll be joined once again by you, Mike, and our good friend, Big Rich Haddam from the West Coast. Yip, 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 yip. Yip, 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 yip.
Dub, 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 dub.
Big Rich from the West Coast is going to be calling in live to talk about all kinds of things like what's new in the news. But until then, where can people find you, Jess?
You can find me on Twitter at writer Jess Byard. And you can also find Chris and I both at our other shows, the One Season Show, where we talk about television shows that lasted only one season. We have a few different shows up there that you can check out. And you can also find us on Scary Stories We Tell, which is a podcast that traverses the trails of true crime, unexplained, and horror culture. So if you're into the creepy stuff, check that out.
What about you, Mike White?
Well, Chris, I don't know if you know this, but we actually do a few podcasts together. One of them is The Life and Times of Captain Barney Miller, which is a Barney Miller podcast. Okay, good. I think we'll put out another episode soon. And we also do a thing called Dreams for Sale, where we sell dreams to unsuspecting victims. And we talk about the Twilight Zone 1985 version. And then I also do it. Go ahead.
Not the 2019 version.
No, definitely not that. Well, though we have talked about it in the past.
We did. We just didn't finish it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's how good it was. And I do a little thing called the Projection Booth Podcast, which you can find at projectionboothpodcast.com.
And as for myself, casualty_Chris on Twitter, Chronicles from the Crypt, that's another podcast I do. Pretty much everyone else has already plugged everything that I'm on that isn't this. At Kulturecast on Twitter. Patreon.com/Kulturecast is where you can find the Patreon. Big thanks as always to our patrons. And as always, the music for the Kulturecast is provided by Tiger Blood Jewel. That song is The Bayou, and we'll catch you on the next episode.
Hello, my name is Kevin Tudor, and I'm one of the three hosts of Almost Major, a film podcast dissecting many major indie studios and the films they release. Every week, myself, Charlie Nash, and Bryden Doyle discuss overlooked, forgotten, or bona fide classic indie films via studio-specific miniseries. We've previously covered numerous films from Artisan Entertainment, Lionsgate Films, and New Line Cinema. Titles including The Blair Witch Project, American Psycho, Dogville, But I'm a Cheerleader, Saw, Requiem for a Dream, and Ringmaster, you know, the Jerry Springer film. Anyways, we have a fun time every week and we hope you will join us. Subscribe to Almost Major wherever you get your podcasts. Now proudly a part of the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.